I'm back. And I've got a lot on my mind. And so, for all of you mama bears out there, this is for you. So I live in a home that was, might be around 50 years old. So, I did grow up in a home that was over 100 years old. So, in a farm, on a farm, in a hill, in a farming town, in Minnesota, in cold winter, in blistering summers, whatever. Had to work. Like, if you're on the farm, you just have to work. So I can relate, by the way, to, like if you've ever read Roots, right? I mean, those people worked hard, and many times the women that were, I almost said foundation, but I meant plantation owners, or the wives of the plantation owners, because women weren't allowed to own property, I think, back then. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, or they, even if they were allowed, they didn't many times. So that goes way back to the Bible. But anyway, oh, by the way, for all of you fans of the Bible, and there is, in the Old Testament, there is, gosh, what? In my head, and I know I read, there's, I think Moses was the judge, and he allowed for land to be kept inside a family of gals, because there was no man to pass the father's inheritance down through. So, take that, all of you feminists who really just want to hang your hat and grumble, moan, and whatever. Like, again, there is a time for a judge, right? Like, that was a good thing, right? So yeah. So anyways, back to the homeowner thing, ladies. This is for you. So whether you're a widow and you suddenly abruptly are CEO of the home, or whether you're a single mom and you've been trying to get your home finances in order because you've been a single mom forever, whether you're a single lady, whether you're a divorcee, I don't care. So the way I go about it, especially if I have to make a big purchase such as refrigerator or appliances, right? I mean, it happened. It just so happened that all my appliances kind of started to fall apart after my husband died. Like, really, I'm serious. I make myself a cup of tea, okay, and then so, like, one of my routines, somewhat routine. I am not consistent, just so you know. But like, have a cup of tea at night, have a piece of chocolate during the day. It at least gives you sustenance if you have absolutely no, and sometimes this happens to me, no appetite for life, no appetite for anything. Dark chocolate in particular gives you more sustenance than milk chocolate even, and it lasts longer, so better quality. Also varying degrees. You can get like 90% cocoa, 70% cocoa. Yeah, pay attention to the packaging. You'll see what I mean. So, I guess, so my hope is that this particular clip will provide value to women, and to women of faith in particular, especially women who find themselves abruptly alone, like I did. And so I was always very good with the money, but my husband was very controlling with certain decisions, and many times he would bowl me over or barrel forward without my agreement. It just was the way he was. He was terrible with money. Terrible. Well, anyway, so so I also was a corporate HR benefits person. So what that means is I operated self-insured plans and purchase plans on the market. Purchase plans meant that the money was traveling through the bank account of the insurance company. The self-insured plans meant the money was, and the claims were traveling through the corporate's bank account. And so I was on ethics committee. I was on medical review ethics board. I don't know what it was. It was an internal committee or whatever. And so anytime there was an appeal for any benefits, like it went before this committee, and I was on that, and it was so funny because anytime education came up, if a person could make a claim that graphic design would benefit the corporation, even if they were not in the marketing department. Let's just say they were in engineering. Let's just say they were on the line, the VP, oh my gosh, the VP of benefits at Dana, like one time he just looked at me sideways. He's like, do you ever say no to education? Like, tuition reimbursement? I'm like, pretty much not. I mean, can you please tell me how or why you would deny an employee that has to maintain good grades in order to earn the tuition reimbursement? Can you please tell me that does not better our bottom line, because we are in the business? If you do not think your people are a capital, human capital is a thing. And, I'm not going to give you a dissertation on that. It's a thing. It's a real thing. This world is not going to be taken over by the Jetsons, Rosie, bless her heart, sweet, sweet, love, whatever. Okay? It's not going to be taken over by R2D2 and C3PO. It is not going to be taken over by AI. So knock that shit off. Okay, so, and yes, sometimes I do curse just to slam it down, just to be like, don't get in the way of innovation, okay? But don't get all weirded. Like, we are not going to develop artificial souls. Okay, so anyways, going back to, I'm going to teach you or just give you so do threes. So do threes or fives. You could even do tens, but I don't recommend it. So, but what I'm saying is shop. So get 3 quotes, 5 quotes, or 10 quotes. And I'm going to urge you to, I shop for integrity. So there's actually even a local company called Integrity. But Christian owners, Christian handyman, Christian values is what my Hawkeyes are on. Now, please, and many of you are friends of mine, of the Muslim faith, of the Jewish faith, I'm just saying, like, I usually can identify high values and high ethics. I spot it. I have a vibe for it. In the, I don't know how many times I took this, but I think I took it 3 times, but like, the Myers-Briggs personality assessment, whatever. I am highly intuitive and perceptive. Developed in finance and fall close to the middle on intro versus extrovert. So, and yes, it has changed. Right? I mean, I've taken it multiple times. There's been nuance change or, categorical changes, but like, by and large, my soul is the same little soul that got run over by a car when I was 4 years old. And I was bound and determined. My mom did have to hold me down. She did hold me down. She also covered me with blankets just to like stop the shock factor. But really, honestly, it kept my brothers busy. Her triage was brilliant, right? Like, so yeah. Another story, another day. But, okay, going back, girls. Okay, ladies and single gens, who struggle with money management. But so get, shop. So get 5 different prices, for a roof, for big things like furnace or even TVs, but big purchases, get 3 or 5 different comparisons, and then, operate, be a questioning consumer. So I'm not saying hit the Angie list and go to Consumer Reports necessarily, but I don't know. reputation, word of mouth is really the fire. That is the fire in small, medium, large business. And even the corporate giants that, roam the earth, pun intended. Yeah. Corporations, multinational corporations. Yeah. Like you will figure out if you start asking important, pointed, and even position them as hard questions, you will be amazed how many people will work very hard to completely serve and answer that question effectively. So neurolinguistics, thank you very much. Okay, so I have somebody coming over here in an hour. Here's also some important beneficial information that I will be equipping not just the one person that's giving me the quote, I will be equipping all of them with. And so I try to operate on a fair and equitable plane, but our church is going to be needing a roof or roofing. From a consulting standpoint, Christians, especially Christians that have small businesses who can do both commercial and residential. Same with plumbers, I'm sorry, roofers, plumbers, contractors, general contractors. I also have a handful of neighbors that are in the market potentially for new roofs, maybe 5, but 4 that I'm, including me 4, but perhaps 5, in my neighborhood. And so, mark my words, when you have a good handy person and or person coming into your neighborhood, they are scouting out opportunities for business, as they should. And so, oh yeah, by the way, if you're a single person and you don't want solicitors, put a nice little sign out that says, "No, thank you. Please do not solicit here." And it will keep away the religious, like the, people that'll come knocking on your door. Not just the religious, but but like the roofers, the landscape people, the sprinkler installers, the gutter helmet, mongrels that want to dig out your foundation, put in some sand, and charge you $10,000 for dirt, and tell you that they waterproof your basement, which they will. They will probably put a sealant on there, but honestly, they're a lot of times just going to move dirt and build up, sand around your foundation so that, there's good drainage, whatever. I'm a farmer. I know how these things go. I will dig the ditch. I will lay the sod. I will chop the wood. Okay? And if you ever worked with me, you know that I will work until 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning to get numbers crunched and or data scrubbed in order to lift and shift, implement, and, make things move. And I do not fly like hooray me kinds of flags. But anyway, that's beside the point. So, okay. So, again, get down to business, get some quotes, do it as quickly as possible. See if you can tip from, very smart gal that I know, itemize and get apples to apples comparison. So, I'm going to have them quote asphalt, for example, roofing. I'm not going to listen when they say like the shapes and the grades and, yes, just give me the A, B, and C of the current grade in the market. I really don't care if it's a rectangle or a square. Aesthetically, I might, but, don't give me some hype dog and pony show about layering and, bricklaying and, no. Just stick to, I need to make sure that my roof is not leaking. If that means I have to pull all the shingles off or at least get the, leak fixed and patch it up for now, fine. But this is going to be a major capital expense for me. If I can even pull if I can even do this. I'm not certain about it. And so, another thing, avoid any financing if you can. Avoid it. See if there is any way you can not finance. So, this is a parlay off of Dave Ramsey's emergency account. And so, yeah, you really do want to be in a position where you can either sell stocks and liquidate. Not an ideal. Warren Buffett talks about, if you're going to invest in stocks, be in the market. But yeah, when it comes to major appliances, when it comes to bundling, so I didn't wrap that up with a bow, but I started to say, tea microwave handle comes off in the middle of the night, cannot open the microwave, the range was falling apart, the dishwasher was falling apart, and the refrigerator was making a lot of noise. So not ideal, yet an opportunity to get. And I did piecemeal, but for steel, like same colored appliances. And thank God for my son, Logan, because I did all the heavy lifting and work, and he actually was my mouthpiece. And yes, he was under the age of 18. And I ended up, it was like down between, the sale was between, it might have been, Sam's Club or Appliance Center or something. But yeah, I was searching for the best bang for my buck, highest quality and best brands, because I really do shop for quality. And so think about your boys, ladies, meaning your gentlemen friends, but also your sons. Nike, there's this push to be pure Nike. Right? Thank you very much, Michael Jordan. Right? So head to foot, Nike, Primo. I told my kids, screw that. You can wear Under Armour. You can wear Under Armour head to toe. You can wear Adidas head to toe. You can wear generic, buy it on Amazon, just compare the material and buy a no-name brand, off-brand, and have maybe even higher quality than Nike. Thank you very much. So you got to be smart. You got to be scrupulous. You got to be wise. And, for my son who, I so get it. I did this when I was a kid. We were poor. We were so poor, but I had signature clothing. So, it was we moved before in Minneapolis, St. Paul, before the mega mall was built. We moved. And so, but I would shop Limited and Limited Express, and I would totally shop. Before, I would shop the sales, and once a year school shopping, I would buy 3 outfits with some accessories, and I learned very, very early. And by the way, way back when I was in high school, there was I want to say their last names were Anderson. I could be mistaken on the Anderson, but there was a couple. There was a morning show. Husband and wife team, and boy, did they teach a lot, right? They had things like Good Morning America does sometimes, but so basics. This stuff is so out there, right? Like, meaning it's all, you need to have a foundation for, I'm thinking again along the lines of kids. If you generally wear blue jeans and you generally wear a black t-shirt, or you generally, for boys, I often think of sweatpants, jeans, sweatshirt, hoodies, not name brand necessarily, but many times sports or college, swag. That's why I call it swagger, So yeah. So I told my son and he listened, and I'm so thankful that he did. But I was like, you just need one signature item. So if you want to wear your Jordans and a Nike hoodie, so there's two, but there, boom. And if you like, I mean, he was watching all the major guys, major league, and he was like, Mom, like he was not snooty patooty about this, but he's like, it's not really that cool to mix up, like it's a Granimal thing, right? Like, but you don't mix Adidas and Under Armour and Adidas, Nike, and I'm like literally crossing my eyes, like vomiting in my throat. Like, yes, you can. Just doesn't match. Do you look like a fool or, hopefully whatever. So anyway, what I have observed out of many, 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 many men is, shoes, good shoes, khakis or navy pants, jeans, like boom, or, sweatpants. And then, varying tops. But like really, most people kind of have their own like foundational uniform. And so yeah. So those are some consumer tips for y'all today. Thanks for joining me. God bless you, women. Thank you, sisters, for all of you who have helped me, supported me, pray for me. And thank you, gentlemen, also for not just your support, love, and respect, but, for any of you who honor your sisters and love your mamas. Yeah, God bless you. I can remember one of the boys in my family complimented my daughter and said that everything he learned from her. I was literally like, proud mama popcorn moment. Like my heart exploded. So yeah, give credit where credit's due, and yeah. So thanks, guys. If you're listening, thanks, gals, and hopefully there's value here for you. But yeah, so I will be doing, comparing either 3 or 5 quotes, and I probably going to have to ask them. I don't want to hear about their financing offers, but will they accept a payment plan? And maybe I can, pay it off with not having to go through a finance bank. So just so you know, banks are money grabbers. They are. That is their business. Banking is big business, and digital currency, cryptocurrency, all this stuff is a thing. And believe me, there's a lot of stuff going on right now to maximize, capitalize, and yeah, I mean, the markets are going to be affected. So bam, boom, shishkum, whatever. See ya. Bye.